So the stance we're going to take is known as the goat riding stance sometimes, or an induction stance. Adduction? Yeah, abduction. So I'm going to rotate my feet outwards. So if you've ever done Wing Chun before, they generally measure by going toes out, then onto the balls of the feet, heels out, and then pressing together at the knees. Okay, so I'm not going to go any further into that. There's a Bagua one very much like this. So from here, I've got my stick. I'm going to grab onto it both hands right at the very end. And I'm going to place it on my throat, essentially, right? So I'm putting that right in the notch at the base of my throat. And the movement's pretty simple, okay? I'm going to go from here. I'm going to, like, wringing out my hands on the stick. I thrust outwards. Then I wring my hands backwards again as I bring it back. So this is why my palms are both facing opposite directions here. Now I'm going to drop my palms and wring out the staff again, downwards. And I'm trying to keep the tip of it in the exact same space when I do this. So I don't know if you can even see the tip of the stick from there, but I'm trying to keep it from moving when I move up and down. So right now, if I were to place it on something like my Bagua pole I have, and I were to thrust downwards in this exercise, it stays on top of that pole, okay? So, basic exercise here, so you can kind of see it, is up to the throat, outward, back, and down. Oh, caught my hoodie. Okay, the second exercise, same stance. I'm going to face this way. Same stance, okay, and we're going to use the same one as our foundation. As I thrust out, okay, I should be standing up straight, standing tall like the monkey. Stance should be twisted inwards. And then I'm going to turn my body, and I'm going to let my lead hand, in this case my right, just thread along the staff like a pool cue. Okay? And I'm going to turn my body by opening up my hip. So I put my weight on my heel, rotate my inguinal crease joint, and that'll open up this foot. Okay? So I'm going to open up the foot, and I'm going to keep my weight, my C1, right, the center point where my weight hits the ground, in the center of where my stance is. So my center is here. I'm keeping my center as far, or rather as close to there as I can. I'm not trying to waver back and forth. You want to be as machine-like as you possibly can. So my spine is an axle. Your arms are like pistons. So when I turn, it automatically will pull my shoulder and pull the stick. Okay? So this becomes the exercise. So what I'm doing is letting it thread, and when I reach the position where I'm trying to hit, I press my rear leg into the ground, my right leg in this case, and let that power come up to my right palm. So it's essentially that I'm pushing the ground, which pushes my hand away like this in a very gross way. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing it very quickly, right? I turn. As this position hits, I snap it into place and just put a little bit of an outward force on it, so that I end up with this sideways kind of force from pulling the stick backwards. So the idea here is that I'm moving the stick straight back along the line, and then the power will execute on the side. Okay? Hopefully that makes some sense without going into all the mechanics. So, out from my throat, pull back to my chest, out to your throat. Now you're going to change hands, pull back to your chest. So it's the exact same exercise. So I'll go real slow. Out to my throat, change my hands, back to my chest. So this is the exercise. Now you can do it either one than the other, or I prefer to do it like this. I don't know. Lets me dial it in a bit better if I do it like 10 or 15 on each side, because then by the 15th one you start to have, you know, things sorted out. So if we put those all together now, we've got up, out from the throat, back to the throat, down to the waist. Up, out, chest, out, and then back. And we can start it again.